Hi there, and welcome back to part 21, History of Fleetwood Mac Singles. I'm Anita, and today we're going to be starting part 2 of the Tango in the Night singles. We left off last week with Big Love and Seven Wonders, and today we're going to start out with Little Lies through, well, technically it's supposed to be Isn't It Midnight, but I have a little lingering extra to show you. So, starting right off, Little Lies was a big hit, came out in August of '87, so about 4 months after the album came out in April. And yeah, it was released in plenty of places, but I don't really seem to have that big of a pile of them. We'll start right away with Little Lies, backed with Ricky, yet another single. And to correct myself from last time, because I said the right single, then I corrected myself, but then I need to re-correct myself. We got 4 B-sides from Fleetwood Mac on these releases, which was phenomenal. So not only did we get a new album, we got 4 extra items from Fleetwood Mac. So again, we go back to having Cool Water as a B-side to Gypsy. Of course, Silver Springs as a B-side to Don't Stop, I think. And then there's this long stretch. I mean, Stevie had a B-side, Lindsay had a B-side here and there, but, 4 B-sides from one album is pretty big. So I thought it was You and I Part 1, and then I corrected myself and said You and I Part 2, but it is indeed You and I Part 1. And that's just part of the process when I say I'm raw. I'm not thinking about it. I just get on the camera and start talking to you about what comes up when I look at the 45. So I'm going to make mistakes like that from time to time and second guess myself all the time. That would happen no matter what I'm talking about. But back to the record, it was Little Lies backed with Ricky. And Ricky, I really like that one. I think my favorite of all the B-sides is Down the Endless Street, which we'll get to later. I really like Book of Miracles because it turned into Juliet on the other side of the mirror, but Ricky was another little funky, cool little B-side. So that was a USA release. This was a picture sleeve and photography by Neil Preston. Great photo. Pretty much was used, again, we're going to zip right through this because that is what was used for virtually everything. So, USA release. Little Lies backed with Ricky. Canada promo, no picture sleeve, same thing. Little Lies backed with Ricky. Canadian paper sleeve. We also got what's different about this one here? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, this one looks to be a promo. Sorry about that. This one was a promo from Canada, and this one is a regular. But non-picture sleeve, which I think is odd. Out of Canada. I'm surprised they didn't have the picture sleeve for that. Little Lies from the UK. Same sleeve. Different label. That shiny silver and black label. Which was nice. France. More starker white label. Am I showing it to you correctly? Yes. Little Lies back with Ricky. This one has some weird... Is it this one? Yeah, it has some weird damage. Like it was left out in the sun or something. Just like it's rubbed right off. Which was unfortunate. But this one is out of France. And then we have out of Germany, same thing, that different kind of textured paper. Same background. That artwork is by Lindsay Locke. I've never done any research on that person. See if they had any more to do with Fleetwood Mac or how it came to be where they contributed their artwork. It's very lovely. But yeah, so Little Lies back with Ricky from Germany. Then, of course, we have guess. Little Lies out of Japan. This photo is by Annie Leibowitz. Never been sure if that's how you say her name, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Very famous. They're all famous. I mean, they're all famous to me, certainly. But Annie, especially with all the work she's contributed to Rolling Stone. But I think Emerson and Preston are just as up there. But that's just me. I love this photo. And no picture other than the album cover with the lyrics. And Japan, obviously, and this one is the regular edition. And it appears this one is, yep, so same thing, but the white label promotional. So that was the only change up for covers for Little Lies, was this picture. And I love all the, as usual, love the layout for Japan. So next we get to Everywhere. So funny enough, Everywhere I don't think charted very high. It was a big hit. It was a big hit. I mean, very popular cut off the album. But I don't think it's just me, but we're in 2025 and that freaking song is with every commercial. I mean, as soon as those catalogs got sold by the band members, I don't know why they just went for Everywhere's throat, because boy, everybody wanted to use that. Which, I mean, I love it. I like that you hear Christine or somebody singing Christine's song all the time on the TV, but like there must be 19 ads that feature Everywhere. But anyway, Everywhere is the first single. This one is just a normal copy promo. Everywhere on both sides. USA release. Everywhere, it's a first picture sleeve, and I believe that this is that Lindsay Locke again, who had done the back. Very good one for you here. So she had done this photo for the back of Little Lies, and then she did this cover work for the Everywhere. And then the B-side for Everywhere was When I See You Again, which is not one of my favorite Stevie songs. It's very sad sounding. Which is beautiful. And I love Lindsay coming in on it, but yeah, it's still not one of my favorites. But love these illustrations. So, Everywhere back with When I See You Again, which seems to be the norm throughout the usage of Everywhere in every country. This is a Canadian promo. I'm pretty sure it's Everywhere back with Everywhere. Nope. Everywhere back with When I See You Again. And not a promo. Again, no picture sleeve. That's odd. I don't know why. UK, nothing different. Actually, the spacing on this one's a little bit different. Instead of the 1, 2, 3, they did it kind of like this with the picture of the album cover on the back, which is kind of nice. Small little setup differently. And in Germany, looks like they went with 2 of them. No, 3, but we're back to the 1, 2, 3. This is really nice. This is real silky, this paper. And I don't know why this guy doesn't have a little envelope. I must have run out. So Germany, and Everywhere back with When I See You Again. This one really stood out. I remember going to a prominent record store in San Francisco and finding this one. And when I first found it, it was very expensive. But years later, it's like $50. And we're talking about $50 and, like 92 for a record. Or 45. No. And I found it sometime later. Definitely not $50. but this is a real rarity. This is a really neat one to come by. Black and white like this, and this is from Spain. Now, to my knowledge, if I'm correct, Everywhere was released in the US, but it made more headway overseas, which again makes it funny that it's here so much. Like again, I say it's used in so many commercials and stuff here today. Wrapping up the Japan covers. Here's that I have just the regular one from Japan. So we have, this is the front. Then this photo on the back, which I think I said was Greg Gorman. Now this is different now because now this one shows the new lineup now. Interesting. You and I maybe haven't realized that. That's kind of interesting. So yeah, the Japan one, and I just have the regular label. So all the other ones had shown still the photo with Lindsay, group photos with Lindsay. So I think this is the first one that shows a group photo with the two new guys who joined for the tour. So that would be the single didn't come out till November of '87. They were definitely on tour by this time with the new lineup. They'd had the press conference, the whole deal. So, but it's just interesting because it's not these guys who recorded the song, but it's what the band currently was. So, yeah. Then we get into Family Man, that to my knowledge was only a UK release. However, I have a picture sleeve from the USA. And again, we have more artwork by a different person than did the cover. This artwork is by Susan Young. But it really matches the aesthetic of the Tango in the Night cover. This one is a little bit more watercolor and a bit more feathery. But love it. So, picture sleeve, and this one is the one that has Down Endless Street, which is my favorite B-side from Tango in the Night. Again, Book of Miracles is beautiful, but certainly is an instrumental. But, you know, a song with lyrics and such, I like this one. And then I have, it seemed like there's a reason I had two of these from the USA. Now I can't figure it out. Thought maybe one had one of those little inserts. Could just be a duplicate. So I'm not seeing any differences in labels, but anyway. Family Man from Canada. And this is Family Man No Picture Sleeve. And I think that double-sided Canada Family Man backed with Family Man. Canadian sleeve and promo on that one. Family Man from Mystery Record, not marked. Spain or Italy? No, Spain. This is from Spain. Really nice, clean copy of it. Really, really clean. Hardly a blemish whatsoever. A little bit different background. Slightly. Seems like it's less cut off on the back. A little bit. Seems fuller around here. And this one is, interestingly enough, Family Man with You and I Part 2. So, Down Endless Street was not the B-side on this one. Strange. Germany. Family Man backed with Down Endless Street. Again, all the way around, but just a little bit of different information, call numbers, catalog numbers, what have you. And this one is Germany. Winding down, we have a really cool, this one, I don't know, it's like, nope, a lot of people don't like the song off the album. It's weird. It's Lindsay. It's very reminiscent of something like on Tusk. But this is just a really cool find, and I remember I had a couple copies of this at one time. I wish I had them again, just because I'm weird like that. But I would try selling them, and people just weren't interested. And I'm like, you just don't see these. I mean, go on eBay right now and just tell me how many copies you see, and you won't. I don't think they're that rare, but just now, I guess people who have them keep them. But this was a beautiful box set. Absolutely beautiful, I think. I wish I had another one because inside has these prints. Beautiful, beautiful prints. Which I wish I had kept a copy because I would put them in the scrapbook. Again, this is Susan Young and Christine Tung. I guess it's just these two. Is that right? Yep, two. So two really lovely, thick papered, kind of this really nice soft yellow. Really pretty prints though. I mean, they're not band photos, and I guess, if you're not into it, you just want pictures of the band. It's I guess, but I thought this was a really nicely put together box set in the UK for Family Man with the prints. The single, which I should have this in a little paper sleeve. Don't know why it's not. Must have run out. Silver label. And we have the regular mint. I mean, this box set is in really good condition. I was very blessed to find it. Yeah. Paper sleeve. So yeah, I can't figure for the life of me why people just weren't really that interested by it. Again, in the comments, let me know if you have a copy. If you liked it, if you remember buying it when it came out. If you've seen one or if you passed on one. I'm kind of interested to know. Because like I said, I've shown it to people and offered it and they're like, meh. It's not a Stevie song. It wasn't one of the bigger hits off the album, but just a nice little piece. So there's that. So that wraps up Family Man. And then lastly, they did release Isn't It Midnight, June of 1988. Love that song. And the only single I've seen, there might be Germany has this, but there's this. And this illustration is by, doesn't even say, oh wait, Anne Field. It's a collage, actually, of work. And, yeah, there's a couple more issues of this on CD. When I get into the CDs, there's a lot of stuff from Tango In The Night that came out on CD singles. And, but this is the only version that I know of for Isn't It Midnight. And like I said, if there are other ones, it's like Germany, but they're all the same sleeve. And they're probably on my want list. It's just things I haven't gotten around to. But I have the primary one, and this is backed with Mystified. And in wrapping things up, a funny, funky little piece, as though that little box set weren't weird. I happened across this because I am that completist, which I don't know if you picked that up yet, but you sure will if you keep following me. I found this magazine on eBay, and it was really hard to decide to cut it up or not. But this is the cover. And inside was like I don't even know what this magazine is about. If it's a music magazine, it has got to be the dullest music magazine I've ever seen, because the content wasn't like, you know, like you'll see magazines from the Orient, Taiwan, Thailand, or Mexico, and it's like, you know, big, you know, color pictures and just all the hearts and the bright colors, just like stuff out of the 70s and 80s. This looked like it was about concrete. Not really. I'm not picking on the country, but as drab and dull as you could get. And so finally, after years, I'm just trying to condense because I have so much stuff. I decided to cut up the magazine, which may or may not have been in my best interest. I kind of made a cover for it, and I cut out what I could decipher was the part about Fleetwood Mac inside. But what it was a little record in the middle of the magazine. And is another little floppy disk, like I've shown you. This is the third one I've shown you now. I had the Tusk one, the Christine McVie one, and now I have this one. And it's scarcely marked, even in their own language. And I don't think it's Russian. I think it's like Ukrainian, or I could be wrong. I don't even remember. But lo and behold, what's on it is Tango in the Night and You and I Part 1. Two songs from Fleetwood Mac on here. And the other ones, I don't know. I have no idea. No other American artists. So yeah, I thought that was just a really neat little piece. And I just, instead of having it in the magazine, I just really wanted it because it was a record amongst my 45. So I decided to, like I said, cut it down and make it a 45, a self-made 45, if you will, by taking out the cover, the little excerpt about it. Now that we've come so far with phones, I should probably translate this just to have. Yeah, I thought that was really neat. So as like a little end game for Tango in the Night, of all the songs to pick, they didn't pick a hit. I mean, they didn't pick one of the release singles. They chose Tango in the Night, and then also decided to put You and I Part 1. So 2 songs from the album on that little disc, along with, I believe, what it shows here. I think I have it marked down because I think that it's like, the song is like 1 and 4 or something like that. I'll play it again to find out. But there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 songs. So 6 on each side. On that little 45. Little flimsy 45. I love it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a neat addition. Not on Discogs because I don't even know how to add this to Discogs. It was in a magazine. Doesn't have any numbers. But yeah, so that's my little end piece for Tango the Night. I hope you enjoyed it. Random little stuff from there. Coming up next, we will go over what's next. Oh, Greatest Hits, 88. Not too much from that, so I might be able to get 88. I don't think I can knock out 88 and 89 for Other Side of the Mirror, but I can maybe start it together. But those will be coming out next. And thank you again for joining me and my quirky little 45 here. And we'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.